signal mic. He gonna be right here. If y'all got any issues with the cameras or nothing like that, and we good to go. Yep, 27 minutes. Hold on, let me get my. You know what? We good. All right. All right. Who's that? What's going on, man? Doing good, bro. What's going on, man? Peace, God. You can just come on, go ahead and have a seat, and we'll knock these out, and we'll get you. All right, let's do it. Get rid of my gun. You're gonna just signal us, like you're gonna just count us down, and then we're gonna go. Just hold your hand up and just step in their view. They should already be recording. I'm gonna get rid of my gun. I'm sorry. They already took care of it. Cody got it under control. All right, let's do it.
Start in 3, 2, 1.
Peace. Welcome back to the Voices of Reason show. I'm your host, Skilo Slim, and today we got two dope guests in the building with us. I'm gonna slide it to them so they can introduce themselves. Gentlemen, how you doing?
Fine,
What's going on, man?
Good
Thanks
to
for
be
being
here
here,
today.
man. Yeah, man. You go ahead. I don't know who want to go first.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm Taft Burton.
And I'm Thaddeus Wilkins.
Okay.
I'm owner of Ocean Spray Photography and Videography. I just moved up this way from Florida a year ago.
Right.
And so I'm looking at really getting involved in the Omaha community.
Right on. I heard that we was talking before, you had a project that you was working on. You want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yes. Before I start, I'd like to preface a couple things.
Yeah.
How this all came about is I had put a duplicator online for sale, and that's how I met Taft.
Okay.
And Taft came over, and we just started talking about things in the community, and he was expressing a lot of the needs and things that he saw that he wanted to engage in and try to make some change, you know, and especially in youth and people who are have been in the system and have high risk, you know, ratings on that. So that's something that's been close and near and dear to my heart as well. And so we sat down and started talking about it, and he gave me some ideas of what he wanted to see, and why don't you talk about that?
Well, I hate to start off like this, but I had lost my wife in 2017 to brain cancer.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Her name was Terry Burton, and she kind of inspired me because even though that she was going through her brain cancer, she always thought about helping people, you know, and nobody knew like she had it the way she had it because she was always doing everything she can do to help people. And so like when I met Mr. Wilkins, I was just kind of expressing the feelings that I had of just being out in Omaha, and I'm from Chicago, but being out in Omaha for like 14 years and seeing some of the things that I saw take place in the city I was from. And it was just like, it wasn't good, you know what I'm saying? Because I needed change, and we got another person with us named Monetta Prince, and she wanted change, and he knew how to get change. And so like I kind of relate to the people in the streets. I talk to them often. You know, Monetta talks to me and other people, and he talks to people over us. So we just figured like the different generations and stuff like that. Now maybe it was time for me to relate back to the OGs or the older race, and the older elders, and just really like seek that knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Because we have became, the younger groups have become detached from the older knowledge that we supposed to be getting, and I just really wanted to kind of like fuse that back together with me knowing some of the people from the street and him being willing to give information that we normally have to go to school for years and years to get.
Right, right. That's a dope thing too, like the apprenticeship thing. That's how we learned how to do this show. You know, somebody else taught us. Mr. Nelson, rest in peace, he taught us how to do all of this stuff. So I'm a big supporter of that. So where else would go
Well, so as far as the project goes, just a little bit about my background. I was a senior design engineer worldwide for IBM, and also plant engineer with Firestone. So I've had a lot of exposure to top companies. That's all I've ever worked for. But the other thing about it is, I feel that I could bring to the organization. Together we develop leadership, because it's like anything else. It takes some seeds that have to be planted for things to grow and prosper. Some of the things that we had talked about, one, and Manetta Prince would be the leader in this, and this is the Universal Skills Center, is what we're looking at. Now, there's a lot of training that's going on. There's a lot of schools here, okay? However, here's what we noticed. In order for someone to have foundation in their lives, there are certain principles and skills they have to know how to put in place first. One is financial training. How do you manage your money? How do you invest your money? Not everyone has that environment around them and the people around them to help them with that. Okay?
Yeah, that's very true.
You can go to school, get your master's degree, and starve.
Right, have no idea what to do with your money.
Right, know how to do it, know how to get to interviews, know how to get into the right places.
Right.
And what essentially are the saturated markets for learning. The other part of that is getting life principles about as far as responsibilities. You know, what are my responsibilities in life? What do I need to secure in my life to maintain shelter? You know, those are things. Not getting things in the way that cause you to fail. You have to have a home. You have to have your food. You have to have, so financial training is important. Where do I spend my money and how do I spend it? The second part of the things is we're looking at effective social skills and work ethics.
That's a big one.
You know, you can have an education, but if you don't know how to work within a group and have work ethics, you won't be working long. And you know, this is a global society that we're in. That's important.
You gotta know how to talk to people, definitely.
Building relationships and understanding boundaries with people and where you should fall in place with that. Principles of effective learning. Everybody learns differently. And not just the same way. A lot of, I know years that I've been to school, there were things that I had to take I've never used.
Yeah.
You know, never even thought about it. You never had to use. But what we want to do is set up training and things on skill sets that people will use that will give and sustain, give them the sustainability with their lives. Now, once you have that, now your education can be supported. And you're able to have support groups around you. Everyone needs to have people around them that can support what they're doing, as vice versa, that they can support as well. Right. Then once that's done, Manetta and Taft, and this is Taft's brainchild, was having a center of another organization that was called Multi-Platinum Management. Now, what we would do there is look for people, and you want to tell them a little bit more about that?
Well, basically, like, we're honing in on skills that, you know, I mean, I know they socialistically put us in a box where they say we do sports, we do music, you know, things like that. Well, why not train in it? Right. You know, why not get the right things in it? And then, you know, I want to go back to when he said the second principle, when he said effective social skills and work ethics. That not only applies to the job, but it applies to the street. You know what I'm saying? Because
life, period.
You know, necessarily, it's not. You don't have to go to guns first.
Right.
There's a such thing as communication, and we need to establish some type of communication because things can be talked out before it's shot out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it might get way better results than that. You know what I'm saying? So these skills that we're trying to teach in this place, it's not just for working, a work environment, learning environment, but it's for life skills as well. Right. Because like I have been places that I have to sit for a while and everything like that, and I just saw so many kids come in 17, 18, 19 years old with 40 years. And that's like fed time, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta do 85% of that time, so you gotta do 34 years before you even think about the street. I wanna give them something else. Let's start our own type of rehabilitation center, and we not ask for so much from everybody else. That's just us pull together and try to get some things going. Like, he has the knowledge to go that way. She has, Monetta, she has the ability to put things together and make them work out. Her planning skills is so superb, you know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't even barely even touch her place or his place. But what I can do is I can relate to the streets. Right. And I could talk to them. And I have been talking to the different organizations out here and all things like that. And it's just, this is really like needed, because
yeah, definitely, that's an honorable mission, man, because you're right. And that I love that point, because I mean, it's like basically just being civilized in your ways and actions, you know. And a lot of people miss that. They think that they could talk to people any kind of way, but it's like, hey, you got to give me your knowledge because you owe it to me. And it's like, no, it doesn't work like that.
Right.
Yeah. And control, one of the most powerful things that you could ever have is restraint. If you can't control your emotions and you let everything that people say to you upset you, you're under their power.
Right.
And so, you know, when I was in the corporate world, I understood and learned that so you can survive. So what we want to do, the things we're talking about doing, is giving life preservation. People will be able to live, sustain life, and help others in the community. It's not about just helping yourselves. One of the things I've learned, I had a very successful career, and one of the things, it was, when I was young, it was always about getting this. I had to have a Porsche, I had to have this, I had to have that. Dress a certain way. And when I found out, I was basically, there are a lot of prisons, and a lot of material items can put you in prison. And what I mean by that, everything requires, whatever you bring into your life becomes a part of your life. Right. And all of those things require maintenance, okay? And so if you have overextended yourself as far as your finances and what you're able to support those with, now you've created these problems for your life where you cannot move out or do anything else. You can't expand your life because you have so much debt. Yeah. Or, you know, even if you have established some wealth, it's being drained because all of these things you don't need. I bought so many things in life, and I walk down the street and there it is in a garage sale. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's time that we learn to minimize and look at what is it that we really need in life to have. And then those things that we have extra, instead of going to other people to try to get help, now we put those back into our community, that excess that we really didn't need to spend, okay, of our disposable income, and start helping other people with it.
Definitely.
In this management, multi-platinum management, Taft has a building which is really nice, and in there he's established a recording studio is in it. There's a photo studio. We're going to have different types of. There's a training area that we'll having people, and we're also looking for people in the community that have experience, that are willing to share and volunteer some of this in training people. Okay, right. It's very important.
Because we do. I'm sorry about that. No, we do have Kiera Lowe. Okay. She actually shares the video company there, and she's actually going into community trying to teach people how to do photography, learning from the master. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, she's just trying to share the knowledge. Like, we're trying to share it because it's like so much lack of knowledge out there, and I'm not a religious person by no way means, but I do believe in the saying that our people will perish for the lack of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? The things that we don't know that we can find out, I think that's the things that's going to be our ultimate demise.
No doubt, no doubt. I couldn't agree with that more.
Right. And so those, like I said, we're really looking for people who are willing to come in and work with us as well, that have knowledge that will come in. I remember as a young man when I was growing up, there's Mr. Anderson. He had a neon shop, and he came, and that was one of the things that got me into electrical engineering. He came down and he was showing me and showing us as a group, you know, what we need to do. What does he do, and how does he do it? And you know, that inspired me. And before I finished high school, I had 2 inventions, right. And so I paid for college and everything. But that potential is there. It's just working and mentoring people, and not getting so caught up again into what we seem to believe that having everything is a point of success, and it's not. Real success comes when you can help inspire and grow others' lives as well. Yours is always more enriched when you can help someone else.
Definitely. I agree with
Grow.
that. It's a beautiful thing that y'all are working on. This is the type of stuff that I love to do, because like we're all about the community, you know, and that idea of each one teach one, you know, and that seems like that's what this is basically.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So what's the next step from here?
The next step is actually we're in a planning process. We have the building. We have the initial people in place. And so hopefully by March, April timeframe, we will start recruiting people. Mr. Taft has people in place to start coming in, and we will start the training.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's a community out there that's really seeking something different. I mean, and you know, how many times do we ignore the question, what is there out there for me? You know what I'm saying? Like we keep ignoring that question. Like it's steady being said. Like what is out there? What is out there for me? That's what the youngins is saying.
Right.
And I'm saying it's a whole life out there.
Yeah.
But if you're subjecting yourself to just being home or being in the community, in the neighborhood, if you're gonna do that, let's try to help the community so that you can leave out and go see the other things that there is to see. But I don't want them to just think that they're trapped in this society that don't want them. Because like I want them, you know what I'm saying? Like from where I've been at, I've seen people not getting anything weekly or monthly and really looking real bad. And even with this shutdown that just happened, you know what I'm saying, I have seen things that just going beyond the ordinary, you know what I'm saying? And so like right now, we have to go beyond the ordinary for ourselves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We have to do the things that we have, that's too extra, yeah, that's what we have to do.
That's what we have to do. I agree.
Yeah, and one last thing, you know, life is not an individual journey. We are individuals. Yes, we have our own minds and the way we think, which is a valuable asset. However, this life is not meant to live alone in and be alone and think that you have to do it all just yourself. From the day you were born to the day you die, other people are involved in your lives. And so we need to get out of the denial and say, hey, you know what, I need people. We need each other. We can be successful, live in harmony, have peace.
Definitely.
And be creative and make a better world, because we are in a global society.
Yeah.
And we need to learn to fit in and be a part of that, and be productive.
Agree. Could you let people that might want to work with you or just be involved in the program, how could they get in touch with you?
Sure. Yeah, my name is Thaddeus Wilkins. I'm on the internet. Like I said, I have Ocean Spray Photography. I'm located in Hot Shops as well, and there is I gave a segment to them that they'll put on the end that has my phone number and all. But yeah, they could reach me at 870-415-2083.
Right on, man. I want to thank y'all for coming, man, and sharing this, man. It's a beautiful thing, man, and I want to, you know.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Definitely.
For the opportunity.
Thank you for coming, man. So again, you know how we do it, man. Each one teach one. That's a beautiful thing. That's what we all about. So you should get involved, you know. Don't waste no time. And until the next time, peace.
Ocean Spray Photography, driven by perfection.